now. All right. Looks like we're in business. And I'm going to go ahead and mute you guys out. But as always, feel free to chime in if anything comes up. Okay. All right. So as we settle in today, I'm just going to turn that button on. You're going to want to have a block with you. If you don't have a block, something, even like a blanket that you can kind of fold and roll into like a similar shape will do. Something kind of firm that you can use as like a little tiny block bolster. And we're just gonna come to a seated position to begin. So I was mentioning to Diane that today we're gonna be learning some standing poses. We're gonna be doing a little bit of core work. And I'd like to start with a few different breath work techniques that are designed to kind of help you throughout your practice, sustain and move through when we find challenging sort of spaces. These are exercises that you can utilize to kind of carry you through some of those challenging moments. So we are going to start seated. You're welcome to prop yourself up on a little cushion, your block, whatever you've got. Just start to settle in. Find some ease here. So if being cross-legged isn't comfy today, then feel free to tuck your legs underneath you, sit up on something a little higher. You're welcome to close your eyes or find a soft downward gaze. We'll just start with a deep release breath. So just a few of those big breaths in through the mouth, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Letting the nervous system know that now is a good time to let go, to slow down, to release whatever you've been carrying. So take as many of those as you need to. And just notice your breath coming back to a natural rhythm on its own. Begin to observe your natural breath. Becoming more aware of what's going on internally. Giving the body and mind some time and space to settle and slow down, to relax, to surrender. Notice if there's anywhere you're holding or feel a shortness of breath. Just begin to consciously breathe into its opposite. So if this breath feels really short in your chest, then take some deep breaths down into your belly, down into your hips. Starting to lengthen each inhalation and exhalation. And creating these little pauses when you find the top of the inhale and the end of the exhale. Take a few more of those. If you notice any tendency to hold the breath at any time, let out one of those nice big sighs of release. Let it reset. Good. One more full breath in here. And let it all go. Good. So the first breath technique that we're gonna be learning today is called Ujayii breath. And it's also known as victorious breath. It's a good one when you're in a pose where you're like, and maybe you feel this in life too, if you're ever in a spot where you're this is hard to breathe. Like you're doing so much that it physically becomes hard to breathe, then this is the one that you want to call on. So it's kind of it almost sounds like a Darth Vader-y kind of thing, or like, so you're breathing in and out through your nose, so your lips are closed, but you're utilizing the throat muscles, the glottis at the back of your throat. So if you just take a moment to out through your mouth, like you're fogging up your glasses or something like that, or a window, that's that Darth Vader that I'm talking about. So you're gonna inhale through your nose and then kind of create that same exhale, but with your lips closed. So it's sort of an audible ocean wave type sound. In and out through your nose. And you might not get it at first, but play with it, practice it, and just start to tune in. Notice how that kind of calls the energy in. Maybe take a few more. Ujayii breath. And you can take one more full inhale. Open mouth, exhale to release. Good. So this next breath is a little bit more energetic. It's sometimes known, it's called Kapalabati breath in Sanskrit, also known as breath of fire. And it's a very cleansing breath. So on days where you're feeling like a little, like there's a lot going on in your mind, you're feeling scattered, this is sort of a good one to just get the energy moving and clear it out. And you'll notice a difference as soon as we're done. So what it is it's a focal, you're gonna focus the breath, or you're pumping your belly. So sometimes we tend to carry that into our shoulders. So as we begin, just see if you can relax your shoulders and let the breath come from your belly. And you can even take a hand to the belly to kind of bring that awareness there. So I'm gonna show you how this goes first, and then we'll practice together. So we'll start with an inhale and then an exhale just to let go. And then you'll inhale about half the amount of way that you normally would, half the amount of air. And then it's gonna be these really quick, short bursts of exhales. And you can find, like, sometimes it's helpful to do it at this pace that I'm doing right now. But if you start to kind of try that and it's just not feeling right, then slow it down a little bit. So kind of start to find your own rhythm the more that you do it. You may want to begin by just clearing out your nostrils, because again, this is in and out through the nose. So you're leaving your lips closed and letting the air come in and out through the nostrils. So I'm going to show you first. So deep breath in. So I don't know if you can hear that, but you can see I'm pumping my belly and the air is coming out through my nose. And the inhale is just an automatic reaction to the exhale. So you're really focused on like you're gonna blow out some candles with your nose. So let's give it a try together. And you're welcome to kind of hand to the belly if you want. But just take a full breath in, empty it all out. Good, in through the nose, halfway fill up, and begin. Good, take 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a big breath in and hold it. Keep holding. Keep holding. Now slowly let it out. See if you can hold the exhale, holding the breath out. Release your belly, fill up. Just take a moment, notice how you feel. We'll do that one more time. So you generally want to do these in rounds of maybe 20, 25 of those exhales. Is this making sense? Is everybody kind of getting the gist? Cool. All right, so one more time. Again, I'm not going to snap this time. You can find your own pace, but I will kind of count those last 5 breaths together. And that retaining of the inhale, exhale at the end is what really kind of creates that full release. So when you're ready, deep breath in. Good, exhale fully. Inhale through the nose. And begin. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a big breath in. Hold it. Keep holding. Exhale, slow and steady. Let it all out. Feel the belly draw up and in. When you're ready, release the belly and take a nice, smooth breath in. And out. Do you notice a difference? Feeling a little bit, ooh. Yeah, so that's a good one to do. Try not to do it on a full stomach. And you can kind of play with that, with the pace. All right, so let's start to add some movement today. We're gonna ground down into the sit bones. Just draw the arms up nice and tall by your sides. You can come out wide or forward enough if that's easier on your shoulders. But just reach up nice and long to your sides. As you lift up nice and tall, let your shoulders relax. Breathing in and out. Good. Reach to your fingertips, spread your fingers wide. Stretch out the skin of your palms. Activate the arm muscles. And take a few more breaths here. And feel the sense of rooting to rise. So your base is heavy. Your hips are grounding down. And the inhale is carrying you upward towards the sky. Good. One more breath in, finding your fullest expression. When you're ready, interlace the fingers, bend the elbows, and take the palms behind your head or at the nape of your neck. So still sitting up tall, take a deep breath in. Again, exhale, find some release, spread the elbows wide. Let the shoulders drop down. Good. One more breath in and out. Okay, so as you sit up tall here, we're going to start to drop the left elbow down and bring the right elbow towards the sky. And then you're going to drop your chin into your chest and roll your right ear towards your right shoulder. So you're looking up past that right elbow. Just take a few breaths into that side body stretch, doing your best to root down through that right sit bone. Maybe let out a big sigh or connect to that Ujayii breath, that Darth Vader breath. Good, last one. On an inhale, we find center. Spine lifts, head comes back to neutral. Full breath in and out just to reset. to drop into that neutral space. Then slowly switch sides, drop the right elbow down, left elbow to the sky. Think about spreading those elbows wide, allowing some of the weight of your head to drop into your hands. So you're kind of drawing your head back in space a little bit. And then chin rolls down, left ear to left shoulder. Take the gaze up towards the sky, breathing into the left side. Feeling into your edges with this, where you're able to kind of connect to the stretch without going too far. So stay with the breath as your indicator. We'll take one more. And inhale, rise, back up, reach the arms. Big breath in, then turn the palms face out, sweep the arms out wide, and interlace the hands behind you now, behind the back. Give your shoulder blades a little squeeze, lift the sternum, lift the chest, take a deep breath into that heart space. And then keep the heart lifted as you continue to roll the shoulders back, let the chin drop into the chest. Take a few breaths here. Starting to reach your palm heels out and away. Notice how the body moves here, kind of pulses, filling up with the inhale. Maybe you feel that little lift in your chest. Then as you exhale, really contract and connect to the belly. So that low belly is drawing up and in for stability. On an inhale, go ahead and release your fingers, sweep back out and up to the sky, nice big circular gesture. This time we're going to bring the hands together and exhale right to the heart. Good, pausing just for a moment and let it go. So now we're going to make our way down onto the back, really getting into those core muscles a little bit more. So you're going to want to take your block with you or some kind of a blanket rolled, a couch pillow, something like that would also work. Just come right on down to your back. We're going to keep the knees bent, soles of the feet flat on the mat. All right. So feet are about hip width apart here. And you can kind of, if it feels good, if you've got like a major arch going in your low back, just press into your feet, lift your hips and inch yourself off the mat, and then tuck the tail and release it. So you get a nice long back body. You're gonna take your block or whatever you've got and place it between your inner thighs. And then you're gonna squeeze that block together. Good. And then from there, hands are gonna come right kind of back to where we just had them, interlaced and behind the head. So your elbows are out wide. You feel your shoulder blades kind of rooting down into the mat. Now keep squeezing your block and lift your knees. So your knees are bent, but your feet are lifted. You want to flex your feet here. So spread your toes, press through the ball and the heel of each foot. We used to joke in my yoga teacher training that this isn't really a flex, it's not really a point, it's what you might call a floint. Point the feet. That makes sense? Good, so you're squeezing your block, pressing your feet. Now take a deep breath in and start to lift your head. So you're curling your elbows in and up as you lift your head off the mat. Good. Now, see if you can allow the weight of your head to drop back into your hands. So you're holding the weight of your head here, almost like a little hammock. Good, take a deep breath. As you exhale, squeeze the block and see if you can curl your tailbone up. So you're starting to lift your hips off the mat just the tiniest bit. And it might not feel like a lot, but you feel that a lot is actually happening in the body. So spread those toes, take another breath in. Exhale, squeeze a little more. Now inhale, relax the head down towards the mat. lower the pelvis. Exhale, squeeze and lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, squeeze and lift. See if you can bring right elbow towards the left thigh. Inhale, lower, center. Exhale, lift through center, both sides. Inhale, lower. Exhale, squeeze and lift. Left elbow comes toward the left thigh. Again, inhale, lower down. Breathe in. Exhale, squeeze, come up through center. Keep squeezing your block, lower the chest, lower the head. Exhale, lift up, right elbow, left thigh. Inhale. Exhale, both sides, center. Good, last one. Left elbow, left thigh, right thigh. Inhale, lower. Maybe one more for good measure. Come right up through center. And release, let the head go. Let the feet come down, release your block. And just take a few deep breaths into your belly. Sigh it out through the mouth. Give yourself some love.
I love that. That was great. Coming from the peanut gallery.
Good little core workout, right? So we're gonna roll to the side here, or if you want, you can even kind of rock forward and back. For some of you, that might not feel so good, so take it to the side. We're gonna find our way up to seated, and then onto all fours. So take your time getting there. And as you come to tabletop position, just find your base, check in, hands and wrists underneath the shoulders, knees in line with the hips. It might feel really good to stretch out that belly. So start to draw your heart forward, lift your sit bones, drop your belly down. And then slowly just lift the gaze. Take a good breath, spread your fingers, press your palms into the mat, get a little bit of traction through the palm heels. When you're ready, use an exhale to round the back, hugging the navel in, pressing the mat away. Taking a few more of those at your own pace. So maybe you move one movement per breath, in and out, or maybe you stay and hold the breath, hold the movement for a couple breaths. So this is about honoring what feels good in your body. And listening in for those spaces that need a little extra attention. And kind of just allowing yourself this freedom of expression. Getting out of our box. We'll take another full breath cycle. When you're ready, scoop that heart through. On an inhale, find your cat, cow, up cat. I don't like calling this cow. Tuck your toes under. And then use the exhale to lift from the navel. So you're hugging up and in as the knees lift, lifting all the way up and back to your downward facing dog. And as you come into it, bend your knees, send your chest toward your thighs, and really stretch out the torso. So as you press into your hands, your hips are rising, your sit bones are lifting to the sky. There's this little pelvic tilt that happens. So your pelvic tilts back, and that's gonna help lengthen that lumbar. Just relax your head if you'd like. And stay here with bent knees. Starting to wake up the legs by pedaling one heel at a time. So keep one knee bent, drop the opposite heel down. See if you can synchronize that movement with your breath. Keeping that connection steady. We'll take just 2 or 3 more. Looking good. This is a nice time to utilize that Ujjayi breath. There's a lot happening in the body. In order to keep the integrity, feel that connection to the Ujjayi breath. How it kind of steadies the body and mind. Good. On an exhale, go ahead and bend your knees. Nice and deeply. As you take the gaze forward, begin to walk the feet towards the hands. And then as you find the top of your mat, just keep a bend in the knees and let the upper body hang for a moment. Find your rag doll. You can let the arms dangle, you can catch opposite elbows, maybe a little sway from side to side, rocking the weight from foot to foot, letting that upper body be loose. Maybe a release breath. Good. From here, if you got your elbows, release your hands back down. Press your fingertips into your shins and begin to scoop that chest forward and up. Find some length. Take a full inhale as you do. And stay, exhale, bring the hands to the hips or thighs. Feel the belly pull in. Press through your feet and lift up slow and steady to a flat back. Finding Tadasana, let the arms go. Feel free to shake it out a little bit. All right. So using some of that Kapalabati energy in the core, now that we're all feeling it, I bet. You want to start with your feet about hip width apart, like so. You can also heel toe the feet a little closer together if that feels better for you. So you're kind of squeezing your inner thighs. Another nice thing you can do is bring the block between your thighs. So 3 options, you choose the one that feels best for you. We're gonna start to wave in and out of chair pose. And we'll break it down. So once you've got your feet evenly rooted, bring your hands to your heart and just roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Feel those shoulder blades melt down the back body. Feel your length. Sit up tall, take a deep breath in. On the exhale, pull the navel to spine and begin to bend your knees like you're sitting into your chair. Good, hands are still at the heart. Take a few breaths here. Inhale, feel the length from root to crown. And then exhale, feel that energy hug back in towards your center. Inhaling. Exhale, roll those shoulders back and down. Squeeze the belly, squeeze your block or your inner thighs. Now inhale, slow, well actually, sorry, let's not get there yet. We're gonna release the arms down first. So you're drawing down by your sides, maybe even starting to reach a little bit behind you. So that heart is moving forward, belly's drawing in for support. Take a breath. Squeeze it out. Now slowly scoop the arms forward as you straighten the legs, lift up. Exhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms back. Again, inhale, arms up, straighten, lift. This time we're gonna bend the knees, draw just the right arm back. So you're kind of opening or twisting out to a T. Inhale, scoop and lift, straighten. Exhale, bend the knees, other side, left arm back. A little bit of a twist, keep squeezing inner thighs. Breath in, ride it up. Exhale, both arms down. Inhale, offer up. Exhale, right arm back. Inhale. Exhale, left. One more time, come up. Bend the knees, both arms back. Now hold here. Take a deep breath in. Open your arms out wide. And start to reach those arms up by your ears as you drop the hips back. Feel the belly draw in. Breathe. Full inhale. Squeeze the block. Exhale. One more time. You got it. Ujjayi breath. Straighten the legs, lift everything up, and just let it out with a falling out breath. Maybe do that again, lift the arms, and let it go. Now, if you do have a block between your thighs, just release it for now. Check in, notice how you feel. How can you connect to your center? Just check in, observing the beat of your heart, the sound of your breath. Good, bringing your hands to your hips. Notice if those shoulders roll forward, gently draw them back and down again. So as you draw the shoulders down, there's a subtle lift through the low belly, like so. We're gonna shift the weight onto the right foot. So soft bend in that right knee as you pick up the left heel. Now you can take this as far as you want to go. If the balance is a little wonky or testing that balance is not feeling good, or you can always use a chair or something. We're not going to be too long in this balancing pose. But I'm going to ask you to start to lift your left knee up and in, recruiting those core muscles to kind of help it. And then same idea, flex the foot, lift the knee, take a deep breath. On an exhale, step the left foot back. Good, so now check in with your base. You wanna make sure your feet are on like little train tracks here. So they're still hip width apart, and you're able to ground down through that back heel. Yeah. So let that be your anchoring point. Anchor down through that back heel, kind of feel that sensation, and then from that back heel, begin to bend your right knee. And you want to make sure that it's over the ankle or further back, never too far forward. So if you notice that you're here, you'll want to kind of heel toe that foot forward to make sure you still got this 90-degree, well, maybe not 90-degree, but stacking action. And then as you come into that, you can play, but you do want to make sure that however wide your stance is, you're still able to root down through both feet evenly. So there's almost a sense of kind of spreading your mat apart as you press in both directions, forward and back. And then hug in. Notice if you've kind of scissored this right hip forward, see if you can keep it in line with the left. And feel your tailbone drawing down. Now we're gonna add the arms. So start to just unfurl right up by your sides, reach tall. And as you lift up, feel your base root you down. Shoulders relax. Activate the arms and fingers, palms. Breathe here. This is your warrior one, also known as Virabhadrasana. Warrior one. And a lot of times in a yoga class, you'll ask, so this is a closed hip position. Your hips are in line with one another, but sometimes this left hip is gonna open a little bit, and that's okay. So you can always make little adjustments that feel right in your body. From here, we're gonna sweep the arms forward and down. Good, then open those arms out nice and wide. Feel the shoulder blades squeeze together, a little bit of a lift through the heart. Keep pressing through your feet. Exhale, interlace hands, bend elbows, hands behind head. Good, connect to your center. Take a deep breath in and begin to track your heart forward and up, like you're telescoping up through your spine for length. On an exhale, let the head drop back into the hands. So there's just a little baby back bend here. Keep pressing through both feet. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good, last one. Press through those feet. Inhale the arms back up to the sky. Find a neutral spine. Then exhale, hands to prayer. As you lift the toes and pivot the feet to the left. So you're facing the left side of your mat. Good. Now we're gonna bring the weight over onto this left foot and bend that left knee. So you're stretching out your right inner thigh. So your feet are sort of parallel here. As you come over, Skandasana. We're just gonna pulse. So on the inhale, pulse over through center, open the arms, and then exhale, bring it in, bend the right knee. Side to side, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more time over to the left. Good, now lift. And then pivot back up to the top of your mat, drop the left knee down. So you're in a lunge base. You're still hip width apart, square hips, closed hips. And we're stacked over that back knee. So feel free to pad that out. And as you stack your heart over your hips over your left knee, scooch this right foot so that you've still got that bend being over the ankle. Beauteous. Take a deep breath, unfurl those arms. Exhale, bring just the right hand to the hip. Right hand to hip, left arm's gonna keep lifting. So we're gonna start to move into a little bit of a twist here. And as you come forward, think about drawing your left elbow towards your right thigh and just kind of squeeze the belly in. We're gonna do that a couple of times. So inhale, lift up, find length, reach. Exhale, hinge, elbow to thigh, squeeze in. Two more, breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. Now get ready to go for it. Breath in, exhale, start to cross elbow to thigh. See if you can kind of latch it. So you're pressing your elbow into your thigh as your thigh kind of presses back into that elbow. Now keep your hips stacked over the back knee. See if you can lift the belly up and in and start to rotate towards your twist. So you're lifting from the underside of the belly. Eventually the hands may stack here. So press your palms together or take a fist into the left hand and catch it with your right. And you can kind of use that leverage to draw your right shoulder open. But you want to stay with some length there. Take a few breaths when you find it. Just enjoying your twist. Pressing through that front foot. On an inhale, slowly unwind. So as you come out, you're gonna lift your chest back up. Maybe those arms reach. On an exhale, hinge forward. Take the hands to the mat. And then just for a counter stretch, we're gonna walk the hips back. Just kind of roll it back and lift your toes to the sky. So you're bringing your right leg towards straight. Take a breath there. Let it go. When you're ready, rebend that front knee. Tuck your back toes under to lift the left knee. Look forward and then spring up, stepping your feet together. Finding a little bit of a fold here. Maybe you bend the knees, send chest to thighs and kind of curl in. Or maybe you start to bring your legs a little straighter. Take a full breath. Let it go. On an inhale, find your way up to stand. Whether you want to roll it up or come through that flat back first. We'll all meet back here in Tadasana. A moment to recenter, reset. Check in, notice how you feel. And then begin to shift the weight onto your left foot. Focus your gaze somewhere out in front for balance. Micro bend the left knee. Inhale, right knee to chest. Keep the foot flexed, draw those belly muscles. So you're knitting the belly in, stepping back, planting that right foot behind you. And then set up your base for warrior one on this side. You might notice things are a little different side to side. So find where you feel rooted first, where that stance is. Anchor down to your right heel. And as you step back, sorry, I should have mentioned this before. As you step back, it should feel somewhat natural, but these back toes are kind of turned out. So they're not straight front and back. You're kind of at more of like a 45-degree angle. And then when you're ready from there, you're just gonna bend that front knee. Hips are level, hips are square. Oops, we got a kitty joining us. When you're ready, add the arms. So bend the front knee, lengthen down through that tailbone. Inhale the arms. Looking good, ladies. Exhale, relax shoulders. Take a breath. Let it go. Inhale, feel your warrior. Sigh it out, let it out. Then reach a little higher from that back heel up through the fingertips. Exhale, arms forward and down. Scoop out wide as you take this next breath in. Reach back up. Hands interlace. Elbows bend, hands behind the head. Telescope up. Take a deep breath in. Exhale as that left knee stacks over the ankle. Let your head drop back into your hands. Take the gaze up if you'd like. Breathe here. Ujayii breath. Last one. Reaching up with a big breath in. Exhale, hands to prayer. Straighten the front leg and pivot to the side of your mat. Feet are parallel. You're facing the long edge. Good, take a breath. Exhale, bend the right knee. Stretch out that left inner thigh, hands to heart, so you got a nice long spine. Inhale, lift up, open. Exhale, float to the other side. Breath in, breath out. Breath in and out. Good, one more time, over to the right side. On an inhale, open. Exhale, pivot back to the front. So you're framing your left foot and your right knee is coming down. So it doesn't matter which way you're facing really, as long as your left foot's in front. Knee over the ankle, hips over the back knee. Woo. Make sure you're on those train tracks. Then left hand to hip, right arm to the sky. Take a deep breath in, find your focal point, somewhere to focus your gaze. Steady mind, steady breath. On an exhale, begin to contract the core as you draw that right elbow on a diagonal, moving it towards that left thigh. Squeeze. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bend. Two more, breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. Get ready to stick it, finding your twist and holding. Elbow to thigh, hug belly in. Press elbow and thigh into one another. Lift the back body, so you're actually lifting the belly away from that thigh, making space to rotate your ribs to the left. Either stack your prayer hands and elbows or catch the left hand with the right fist, or other way around. Breath in, press through that front foot. Press, lift. And then exhale, knit the belly in as you squeeze and move a little deeper into your twist. Nice. 2 more breaths. So Diane, you want to take your right elbow to your thigh. You're here, there you go. When you're ready to come out, press through that front foot and lift your chest all the way back up, maybe the arms rise too. We find neutral and then bow, hands to the earth. Walk the hips back, turn the left toes up, stretch out that hamstring. Good, we bend. This time we're just gonna step that left knee back to meet the right. Good, jump back onto your heels for a moment and find a neutral spine. So we're gonna use our block again, or whatever you've got. We're gonna bring it between the thighs. So moving into a very gradual back bend with this, really drawing on the strength of your quads and the strength of your core for stability. So when you're ready, feel free to tuck a blanket or something underneath your knees. You can also kind of roll your mat. Sometimes that works too as a little extra cushion, but it might be nice for this one. And then you're gonna come on up. So your knees are hip width apart. And then take your block or whatever and bring it between your thighs again. And you can leave the tops of your feet flat or tuck your toes for more support. Good. So just bring your hands to your hips. Give those shoulders a little roll. All right, so we're gonna start with the legs. So you wanna squeeze your block, squeeze in, and then start to press your thighs forward. So almost kind of imagine if there's a wall in front of you, you'd be pressing your thighs into that wall and squeezing in at the same time. So you can feel that action. Feel your butt turn on. See if you can lengthen your tailbone just a little bit. Start to curl the pubic bone forward and up. Good. Now walk your hands. So you're here. Start to walk your hands kind of towards that back inner hip crease, drawing the elbows together. Take a deep breath. Telescope up through your chest. Exhale, squeeze your block, press your thighs, and maybe you start to lean back a little bit. Keep breathing into the chest, like there's a little string on your heart drawing you up. Exhale, feel your energy contract at your center, supporting this opening through the upper body. Nice, take one more full breath in and out. Keep squeezing your block. On an inhale, start to come out slowly. We find neutral. Slide your hands down the tops of your thighs and sit back onto your heels, or tuck that block underneath you. Take a breath in, lift the sternum. Exhale, chin to chest. Just let the head drop down. Keep the heart lifted. Breathing here. Okay, we're gonna do that one more time. So when you're ready, we find neutral head, neutral neck, and then come back up onto your knees with your block, with your cushion. Hands to hips. You can start even by wiggling those hands back. Elbows drawing back and in. So you're squeezing. The back body is working. Good. Find your base. Squeeze your block. Start to send your thighs forward. Take a big breath in. Lift and telescope up. Exhale. Contract the energy. Find center. Ujayii breath here. Darth Vader. Find your edge with it. Take 2 more. Beautiful. With your next inhale, start to rise up, come through neutral. Relax the body, slide the hands and sit back. Use a block. If coming back onto your heels is too intense, boost the hips. Just take a moment to let that soak in, chin to chest, let the head relax. And breathe. Up and down your spine. One more. Right. Find a neutral head, lift your chin. And then just rock off to one side. You can take your block to the side. Keep that within reach. And then we're gonna roll it down onto the back. So come off, swing those feet around and lower yourself. So we're back kind of where we started here. So you may just want to hug your knees in for a moment and bring your inner thighs together and just start to make some small circles with your knees, massaging out your sacral base. And you switch the direction of your circles. Notice whatever's holding, let it go. Start to slow down. Bring your knees back to center. Give them a little hug. And then release. Just for a moment, we're going to take that block back in between the thighs. Good. Squeeze whatever you got. Take your hands back behind your head, interlace fingers. Elbows open wide. Good. Now squeeze your block, lift your knees into your chest. So you're kind of curling those thighs close to the belly. Gently rock onto your right hip. So you're spiraling your knees up and over and allowing the legs to land. Now, if coming all the way down onto the floor is too intense and you start to notice this left arm lifting, then take a little extra cushion or something and tuck it underneath your right leg and hip and just support the stretch. So you do want your shoulders to stay down, your elbows to stay down. Your head can stay centered or it can kind of roll to either side. And we're going to take a few deep breaths down into the base of your belly. Maybe way on down into the pelvic bowl. Just kind of breathe into that area. And then exhale, that gravity will draw you deeper as you empty out. So as you release the breath, you'll notice the body kind of softens into the stretch. I'll just do that a couple more times. Feel yourself slowing down, taking root or support in the earth beneath you. Good. Coming out of this, you want to bring your head back to center. Squeeze your block, contract at your core, and help lift those knees back up to the sky. Maybe a small rock from side to side until you're ready to switch, rolling up and in and onto your left. Propping that left side if it's helpful. So this block between the thighs is kind of keeping your hips level. It's preventing your sacrum from kind of throwing itself out of whack as you move into this twist. So find where your legs are supported. You've got some relaxation coming into that lower body. And then the arms can soften into the mat and breathe. Sometimes it's nice to just close the eyes here. Let some of the effort go. Couple more. Good. Use your next exhale to squeeze your prop, your block, your cushion, and gently lift up and in, refine center. Maybe a gentle rock and release soles of the feet down to the mat. Let everything go so you can remove your props. Just check in for a moment. Notice if there's anything else that your body needs before you start to make your way down to Shavasana. So it might feel nice to kind of move into a happy baby. We haven't done that one yet, but it stretches out the inner hips, outer hips. So you do that by bringing your knees in and starting to kind of open the hips a little bit. So you're like in an inverted squat. And then see if you can reach for the pinky side edges of your feet. And as you kind of come into this, you want to press your feet into your hands and then pull back on your feet. And you can rock side to side. And then release, let the feet go. Give those knees a little hug and then lower. Sliding your heels all the way down. Now open your legs up a little bit wider than your hips and just shake it out. So you want to relax the muscles here and allow the weight of your legs to drop into the outer edge of each heel. Maybe take a deep breath into your belly, fill up, let it out with a sigh. Let your arms rest at your sides. Maybe kind of lift the back, tuck the shoulder blades under. Find what feels comfortable here. And take a few moments just to settle in. To let all the effort go. To be held. Closing the eyes. Allowing the skin of your cheeks to relax. To soften your jaw. To rest your eyeballs into their sockets. Eyelids heavy. Come to witness the sound and sensation of each breath in and out. Surrendering into stillness. Let go. Let your heart break daily in conversations over song lyrics, during the pause right before the sun rises, while you're sipping coffee and looking into the eyes of someone you love. For it's when we break a little, we come alive. It's in the space of feeling we expand. And it's here, in our vulnerability and openness, we step into our greatest selves. And take a moment and allow those words to wash over you. A sense of vulnerability and openness. Take some deep breaths. And slowly bring your hands, place one on top of your heart, the other on top of your belly. Just take a moment to feel your own energy, your own presence, offering yourself love, gratitude, safety, support, all is well. When you're ready, take your time gently rocking onto one side. Maybe pause there for a moment just to honor your transition. When you feel ready to rise, make your way back up to seated with your eyes closed if you can. Just finding a nice neutral position. And you can come back to that place with your palm over your heart, over your belly, if you'd like. And taking one last full release breath together. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Letting chin drop to chest, bowing to yourself, bowing to your higher power. Whatever that means to you, take a deep breath and let go. It is an honor and a pleasure to practice with you today. Namaste. Much love, friends. I'm going to unmute you so I can hear you.